Hi, I'm Bob Hayworth with Baja Construction. I'm here at Oakley Executive RV and Boat Storage to give you a little tour of the facility and show you what we really build. Thank you so much. So this is the solar RV and boat storages we built. It's all out of prefabricated high tensile steel. This project I started in 2012. Its first phase was 179,000 square feet. It was 340 spaces, and it produced 1.5 megawatts of power. I since have gone on to build phase 2, and now we're just completing phase 3. This is pretty much what we have done for myself, and also to show others what we are able to build and offer them as their own equity class. I believe RV and boat storage is the new equity class. I believe that we're currently in a paradigm shift between RV and boat storage and mini storage. I think it's going to be the next best thing. The return on investment is greater than RV and boat storage, and you're able to build it with a third less investment, and the cap rates are the same or better than mini storage. It is probably the easiest business I've ever done in my entire life. I've had actually no tenants not pay me in 8 years. And I've only had one that I had to threaten to sell their unit, of course, when the bank came in and paid for that rent. The customers are totally different than mini storage customers. They're all in love with being here. They're all happy. They come to see their toys. They're out here to have fun. It's the opposite of mini storage. They don't have life issues, and they operate like a community, and they actually advertise my place for me. They say, one of the first questions you get from an RVer is, where do you store your RV? I store it at Oakley Executive RV and Boat Storage. Why? Because it's the best facility I've ever been in. And that is the new equity class, premier RV and boat storage, which they all got to be covered. So we design, engineer, supply, and install prefabricated RV canopies nationwide. We have our own in-house engineering, our in-house design. So if you want to send us a site plan or a plot plan, we'll lay out the project for you. We'll engineer it, and we'll install it with our own crews that install nationwide. And what we build them out of is light gauge, high tensile steel. So everything is pre-galvanized, and it's prefabricated and pre-engineered. And so we job site ship to every job. Nothing goes into our yard, goes direct to the customer, where our installation crew meets it there, unloads it, and installs it. Now you can see from this particular RV canopy that we've installed solar. So this particular canopy or canopies on 100,000 square feet of canopy produces 1.5 megawatts of power, which is sold to the utility company for 12 cents a watt, which also allows for a 30% tax credit on the canopies as well as the solar, accelerated depreciation to as little as 1 year. And in the state of California, anything that is solar is exempt from increased property tax. So when we lay out an RV and boat storage, we basically put everything on a 60-degree angle. So if you can see, all the spaces are at a 60-degree angle, 12-foot spaces, which equates to 13.8 on the parallel. Okay, everything minimum 14-foot clear height. We usually shed them all in one direction. These have a 5-degree pitch because it's got solar, whereas if it didn't have solar, it would probably only have a 1/2 and 12 pitch. Solar requires more purlins because solar is 3 pounds a square foot of dead weight. So that's why we have twice as many purlins than we normally would be on a normal RV and boat storage. The driveways we designed to all 35-foot wide. I usually recommend 40-foot turning radiuses. The old mini storage concept of it with a fortress with walls all the way around. With all the way around, walls all the way around the perimeter of the project. Now over here in this section is, because basically my project, pretty much all the solar, all the RV canopies have solar on them. And so with the exception of this small area, so this is what a RV canopy would look like with roof deck on it. So it's basically the same thing, it's just instead of having solar panels, it has roof deck. And then this is a design, prefabricated steel fence we built. This is phase 3, which we finished in 2018. Again, pretty much the same concept. The only thing is this building are drive-throughs, which I don't usually recommend, just because it uses up too much land. Pretty much everything we do is back-to-back buildings. We are usually able to get 50 to 60% lot coverage or rentable space coverage on every project. Same size spaces, 12-foot space, 60-degree angle. These, I believe, are 38 feet deep. We can do pretty much everything, any size stalls. And then beyond phase 2, we're just finishing up phase 3, which is, which will take us up to 560 spaces. It'll be approximately 360,000 square feet. No, that's not correct. I think it's 206, is that right? I'm not sure. 280,000 square feet, I think it is. I'll have to get that for sure. It is phase 3. We're not quite done. Same thing. The only difference is, if you can see, this one is on a 2.5% to 3% slope lot. And again, they're all solar. So there's a little bit more slope to this one. So this is Oakley Executive RV and Boat Storage. This is my project that I built with my partner. It's a total of, I think, 560 spaces, more than 280,000 square feet. We designed, engineered, and supplied and installed it, like by Baja Construction, which I also own, which we would do for any other customer. It's all solar, so we're producing 3.5 megawatts of power, which is more than enough to supply more than 600 homes with. Everything's galvanized, pre-engineered, prefabricated, shipped to the site. Our crews meet it on the site, nut and bolt, screw it together. We do this nationwide, and we help pretty much kind of the same way that it started in mini storage. We help the customer who has never really done that before get through the process and work through it so that they can have their own facility. Again, I think it's the new equity class. I think this is a much easier business than mini storage is. I've not had one customer not pay me in 8 years. The customers are all happy to see me. They love being here, as opposed to mini storage, when they're usually there because of life issues and they're not quite as happy to be there. Actually, no one's happy to be there. And so this is a great business. I think there's a paradigm shift. Currently, people are getting 55 to 60 cents a square foot, up to $1 a square foot for just canopy rental. But it only costs a third of the cost that it costs to build a mini storage. So I think that's where the market is going. I think that's where the storage market is going. And that's where I think we should be going. Thank you.